Now we're keeping an eye on politics, and we're just a few weeks out from primary day in Illinois. So we're continuing to speak to the candidates who are vying for your votes in all the key races so you can get to know them better and the issues. Today, we continue to follow the race to succeed Dick Durbin in the U.S. Senate. Our Cary Capparelli is a businessman and geography professor running in the Republican primary, joining me now live. Good morning. Good to be with you.
Good morning.
All right, so you may be a familiar name to some Cook County voters, not just because of your father, but because you've actually appeared on the ballot for some offices in every even year election since 2014, including congressman, also water reclamation. Why run for the Senate and why run for it now?
Well, there hasn't been a Republican senator in over 15 years. It was Mark Curtin was the last one. And I saw it as an opening, and I saw that the Republican establishment who's failed the Republican voters in the past 15 years. There was an empty spot there, and I figured, okay, I have to give it a shot and become that replacement.
So even though you've appeared, though, on the ballot as a Democrat in the past, you told the Evanston Roundtable that in the GOP primary, you represent the strongest conservative values. Why the swap over, and what are those values that you're talking about?
Well, even as a Democrat, I was a conservative. And conservative values are the same principles traditional Republicans. And that's what we're missing in Illinois with the Republican Party. The establishment are not traditional Republicans. They don't uphold the Republican or the conservative principles and values that most of the voters are looking for that are Republican in Illinois, because they fail to vote because there is no opportunity for them to vote for who they want to vote for.
Can you be more specific about what those values are that you're referencing?
Conservatism in general. You know, the establishment often nominates candidates that mirror Democrat policies. So the Democrats are always going to win that battle if they're having the same policy.
Okay, I'm asking for specifics so people who are watching can get to know you and know exactly what you stand for. But if elected to the Senate, what would your top priority be? Would it be affordable and accessible health care, border protection? What are you running on?
There's a multitude of different issues. And in my opinion, the most important issue is foreign policy, because foreign policy complicates every governmental issue, basically economics, military, per se, almost every important issue is found under foreign policy.
Is there a specific focus on foreign policy that you're really keeping a watch out for right now and that you want voters to know about?
Well, right now there's two that we're hearing quite often. One is tariffs, and the other is the military buildup in Iran.
Okay, let's talk about the issue of border security. Immigration enforcement, really hot button issue in the state. I would like to ask you, do you believe the Department of Homeland Security and ICE under the Trump administration have handled enforcement procedures appropriately and legally? What's your take?
Well, first of all, we have to remember that human behavior is hard to control. And people that are law enforcement and in ICE, they have a job to do. And they're not targeting American citizens. Their intelligence is telling them where to go, and they're looking for illegal citizens. And illegal means unlawful. And we all know what unlawful means. And they are specifically trying to find violent illegals that are in the nation. And I think that we're seeing the results in the fact that the murder rates are coming down in the United States, and all violent crime is coming down in the United States in the past year.
I'm specifically asking about ICE operations that we saw in big cities like in Minneapolis, like here in Chicago.
Reiterating, they're doing their job.
Okay. The White House has cut or attempted to cut funding to Illinois and other blue states involving food assistance and healthcare initiatives. Korean Chicago Business just yesterday reported those cuts and threats to be at about $61 billion for Illinois alone to date. How would you work to ensure that you take care of people in Illinois in this climate?
Well, I work for necessities, of course. There's things that are necessary, and food and diet and whatnot, and healthcare are important to the people of Illinois. And yes, I'd have to be supportive. You can't reject human life.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here so people can get to know you and what you're standing on a little bit better. Thank you.
I deeply appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
All right, take care. Well, we have invited the other candidates in the Senate race on both sides of the aisle onto our show. On the Democratic side, we'll be speaking with Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton on Friday. And you can watch our full interviews with Republicans Don Tracy, Pamela Denise Long, and Jeannie Evans, and Democrat Robin Kelly on our website, cbschicago.com/election.